back to the final, from a Messi point of view, I'd love them to win it.
Yeah, no,
I would. I'd love
icing
them
on
to
the cake, to a magnificent career. His club career is not over, but this is the one. This is what he really wants to win. If you retire being an icon the way he is, you got to win the World Cup, haven't you? I think that's the trophy everybody wants. We've seen some magnificent players win it over the years. And Messi, I do agree with a lot of the lads who spoke there, saying for me, he's the best. He's the best. The way he runs the play, the way he runs with the ball, it's like I think Stuart Pearce said, it's like a bit of glue on his foot. He doesn't move. He knows exactly what he's doing. And
Start.
What I loved about the third goal the other day was the way he slows down and the defender slows down and that change of pace. It keeps him going. He's 34. He's lost his pace, don't get me wrong. He's not going to be the quickest that he was when he was 25. But the way he uses his brain to slow the defender down and then moves again the ball. He's always moving the ball as well.
Oh, he's special.
He's unbelievable.
So, on the beaches of Copacabana, will they be winning the shirts of France and Mbappe? Because they cannot see Argentina lift the World Cup, or can they? Let's say very good morning. Our top man over there, Tim Vickery, joins us. Tim, morning, Tim.
Morning, Tim.
Morning, gentlemen. How you doing?
How's it going down in Rio?
It's a little bit contradictory because you're right. Usually we'd be ABA. That's not Amateur Boxing Association. It's anyone but Argentina. But I'm sensing more than ever before there's a support for Argentina amongst Brazilians.
No.
Yeah. Now a lot of them are against. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot in favour for a few reasons. One is that it's a way to Brazil are vicious when they lose. They turn on themselves. They turn on their own team. And the fact that Argentina beat Croatia so convincingly, that's a team that eliminated Brazil. It's a way of saying, look, they're much better than we are. It's a way of beating up themselves. They're very, very cruel to their own team. But also, two other things. Number one, they're just enchanted with that union between the fans and the team. That party that happens in the Argentina in the stadium when Argentina play, you don't know where the team stops and the supporters start, and the party that they're having at the end is just magical to watch. And the third factor, love for Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
If you love football, how can you not? How can you not love this man? I mean, I'll tell you now the highlight of what I ludicrously call my career. South American Under-20 Championships. It's always a gold mine. Start of 2005 in Colombia. Argentina have called up this little 17-year-old who's played one friendly for Barcelona, and even they don't know anything about him. They've heard that there's something special there, and if there is, and Spain wants him, so if he's any good, we're going to have him, and Spain can't have him. And it's Lionel Messi, of course. And he had that floppy hair, like a breed of dog. You just couldn't. You looked at him then, and he's half as high as anyone else. He looks like the pigeon-toed run to the litter. He's not anything, is he? And then you looked at him on the ball, and all of our jaws just dropped. We all knew, 17. We all knew we're in the presence of something very, very special. It was so many of the things that you just talked about, and the ball tied to his foot. I remember Diego Maradona saying about him, Messi can dribble while watching TV and changing the channels. The ball is so much a part of him. But you could also see right from the start the intelligence, the awareness of space, and what he did. And Ray was just talking about it there. That the third goal against Croatia. He gives you a lesson there about speed in football, doesn't he? Because speed in football is not Usain Bolt speed. It's changes of rhythm, it's changes of pace, it's changes of direction. And for a lot of Brazilians, watching that third goal was like time travel. Watching the great Garrincha back in the day. That's what he used to do to fullbacks. He'd lead them in a merry dance, and Messi did it to one of the best centre backs in the tournament. So magical stuff.
Tim, they're billing it as Mbappe against Messi. I still think Mbappe's got something to say about this in the final. They're saying there may be a bug in the French camp. I hope not. I want a great final. Just to fall out with Brazil. Is Neymar getting some stick?
Yes, he is. Although, when they needed a goal, he didn't have come up with something special, didn't he? And it was a fabulous goal, the goal they scored against Croatia. It was a great individual goal and also a great collective goal. I think it was something that Brazil lacked. More play through the middle. It's something that they sacrificed because the team. The best thing about the team for a while last year was the link up through the middle between Neymar and Lucas Paquetá, and then the wingers exploded. First Rafinha, and then Vinicius Junior, who didn't really explode for Brazil until this World Cup. And the best 3 games that he's played for his country were the first 3 games he's played in this World Cup. So the wingers exploded, and then they were going to play with 2 wingers and Neymar as a false 9. And then Richarlison forced his selection. He'd scored 7 in the 6 games before.
Incredible, yeah.
And so they had to play with a centre forward as well. And it's a centre forward who does 2 things, Richarlison. He finishes and he presses. You know, he can't elaborate like Harry Kane. You can't play up to him, back to goal, and he's bringing players into the game. It's not his game. He's front to goal, like a racehorse with blinkers, and he does the pressing. One of their tragedies against Croatia was he was injured. They should have taken him off early. We know now the extent of his injury. But they didn't have Gabriel Jesus because he'd gone home injured. And that meant that they couldn't press Croatia, and it enabled Croatia to play the ball through to their midfield and dictate the rhythm of the game, and run the clock down, which is what they want to do. But I think Brazil missed. It was a bit like playing whack-a-mole. You know, you add things and then you lose things. And I think that they missed a little bit of that interplay through the middle. And then they found it for that glorious goal that Neymar scored, which had the team not had a mental lapse with 4 minutes of extra time going, we'd have been looking back on that and saying, what a fabulous moment, and Brazil are into the semi-finals. It's such an untypical goal for that team to concede, where you get, because usually the team would have come up as a unit, and you've got half the team coming up as a unit and the other half staying back because it's 116 minutes gone and they're tired and maybe mentally frazzled. And in that hole, I don't think Casemiro does particularly well there on Modric, and he dives in the wrong side and Modric turns him and they're away. But it's in that hole where half is pressing and half is not pressing that Croatia are able to get the counter-attack going. And then they score with the only shot they have on target, which takes a deflection. So it's very cruel on Brazil, who I think deserve better.